My name is Kevin Spacey. For many years, I have been a recognized figure in the film and theater industry, known for playing a wide range of characters that have left an impression on audiences. But if I've learned anything in life, it's that fame and recognition, while they can be rewarding, are not what truly define a person. There is a deeper story behind every face, behind every achievement. And mine is no exception. I was born in 1959 in South Orange, New Jersey. From a young age, I found that I was drawn to the stage in a special way. Something about the lights, about the sound of applause, awakened in me an insatiable desire to understand human nature through performance. My training was like any other. I started in the theater, and it was there that I discovered my true love for acting. But like everything in life, the road to success was neither easy nor straightforward. As I progressed in my career, I encountered an unforgiving industry. From my early work in television and theater to film, there were times when I felt I would never achieve the level of recognition I desired. But, as is often the case, opportunities came when I least expected them. My involvement in films like The Usual Suspects and American Beauty catapulted me to fame. The recognition was instantaneous. In those moments, everything seemed to be aligned, and I seemed to have the life I had always dreamed of. The awards came, the reviews were positive, and my career seemed to be on a brilliant trajectory. However, fame is not what it seems. It is a mirage that envelopes you, traps you and, many times, makes you lose perspective. Over the years, I found myself surrounded by people who saw what I did and not who I was. The acclaimed actor, the man with the talent to take on any role, but few stopped to see the insecurities that haunted me, the fears I carried on my shoulders, the shadows that followed me that no one wanted to see. Inside, I didn't always feel like the man I projected to the world. I didn't always know who I really was. As my career grew, so did the pressure. The world expected more from me, and I felt a constant need to live up to those expectations. The lights, the applause, the interviews, it all fed me, but it also consumed me. And as more and more people surrounded me, I realized that the price of fame is not only high, but sometimes devastating. Personal relationships became fragile, and loneliness settled into my life, despite the multitude of faces that admired me from afar. At some point, the industry began to change. Technology, new formats, and audience demands altered the entertainment landscape, and that affected my career as well. It wasn't just about performing well, now you had to be in the right place, with the right people. There was something beyond the art, something that wasn't always in my hands. I realized that the roles I was so passionate about were becoming scarce. The bigger projects, the ones that promised to take my career to new heights, weren't coming in the same way they used to. And, as if it were an inevitable cycle, a sense of rootlessness began to brew in me. Fame was no longer enough to fulfill me. But what I didn't anticipate, what I never imagined, was that the fall would be so fast and so hard. The shadows I had been ignoring for so long came to light suddenly and without warning. And so, what had seemed like a successful path began to crumble. The echoes of the accusations began to reverberate in the press, and suddenly, the same public that had cheered me on turned against me. Doors that had once opened with ease slammed shut. The industry turned its back on me, and I found myself alone, facing the consequences of my actions. At that moment, I understood that fame is ephemeral, that it is not guaranteed. It can all vanish in an instant. What happened next was a long, painful and public process. Criticism, investigations, the implacable gaze of the world, forced me to face myself, my own mistakes, everything I had done wrong and what I had kept silent about. At that moment, I realized that I had not only lost my place in the industry, I had also lost my own sense of identity, my humanity. I was caught in a cycle of regret and seeking redemption, but also in a process of realizing that actions have consequences. Now, looking back, I realize that everything I experienced brought me to a point of deep reflection. What I once considered an act of success, a symbol of power and recognition, became a lesson in the fragility of human life. My career, my accomplishments, all that I had achieved, now seemed distant, like a dream fading into the mists of time. What once gave me satisfaction, now reminds me of the lessons one learns only after facing adversity. Is fame the most important thing? Is public approval what really defines a person? Those questions stick with me now, as do the decisions I made that brought me here. Because, while I may have been a successful actor, what really matters is what remains after all: relationships, respect, the ability to look those close to you in the eye and be genuine. Fame can't guarantee that. Fame may be fleeting, but the lessons one learns from dealing with the downfalls, those stay. And as I move on, what remains is reflection on what it really means to live a life of integrity. A life where everything is not measured by accomplishments, but by the choices you make and the people you are.